Felicity, good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm much better today than yesterday.
Great. I can imagine that your weekend was also very, very great.
Yes, very, very.
What are
But
we?
know what you are thinking, eh?
I didn't say anything. I'm not thinking anything. Don't be like Helen. What are we to expect? Already, I see the clouds gathering. Is the rain coming?
Yes, for some areas it's coming, but for some we just see the cloudiness, and then we'll have a cool temperature to do our outdoor activities. So we have the rainstorm that we tracked all the way from Friday through Nigeria into Benin, Togo, and finally it's over as it entered us last night. Most areas over OC region, Volta, and then parts of Eastern got their share. Then currently descending to Central, Greater Accra, and then Western and parts of Ashanti region will also have the cloudiness with light to moderate rain showers. For the fisher folks, much of it is over the coastline into the Gulf of Guinea, so they need to be extra careful. For the Volta Lake, cloudiness is expected.
Right.
With just light rain, so they can do their fishing activities, but they need to be a bit mindful. Temperatures for Greater Accra will be mild for any outdoor activities. Likewise, those over the middle sector. But the north, we are expecting it to be partly cloudy, and then later in the evening, we are expecting rainstorm formations over just some few areas, those around the northern region, part of northeast, and then the upper west region. But then we'll be updating every 6 hours. So once we are certain with the time, we will let them know so they can take their precautions.
Most grateful for this update, Felicity. Thank you as always.
Thank you too. Enjoy the day.
You too. Enjoy your day. And that's Felicity Hafianyo. Weather against the Willow Man, buoyant band. And do you speak in the Ghana at all?
Few.
Toma mini na ken yo. Ofine, please.
In Inu Shishi.
Unu Shishi, I don't understand.
Inu Shishi.
That's all.
Teo.
How are you?
Inu Jugwa.
Eta.
Komi kekina.
Bankuka floor.
Oh
my God.
And so on and so forth.
Well, the publisher this morning says, I have my own vision for Ghana. Baumia filing of the NPP form stands into a rally. Prempeh College honors Kufuor Napo. Don't jail journalists over their opinions on LGBTQ. I don't speak about going there. Iyoko Boss preaches integrity. The Daily Guide newspaper this morning says Accra Hajj airlift starts. Baumia hits ground running. No prison term for we smokers. Okwe vets NPP presidential aspirants. And allegations against Awen chief is bogus. That's what we have here on the front page of the Daily Guide. The Daily Graphic this morning reports that government starts replacing bridges to open up farming communities. Also, Graphic Courier marks 3 years. And Afrem Exim Bank provides $10 billion for African Continental Free Trade Area Adjustment Fund. Bailout results begin to show. Oforiatta courts public support for reforms. On the back page, Dreams FC wins historic MTN FA Cup. Ampem Dakon ladies retain Women's FA Cup. Helen, that's all I have here. What do you have?
All right, I've got a few papers here as well. We'll start off with the Ghanaian Times. Ghana IMF comprehensive structural reforms. Government targets energy sector to drive economic growth and development. Also, drabbing MCE nominee alleged bribery case. Viral video admitted in evidence. Government constructs 50 bridges to open up farming communities. That's coming from the roads minister. And for this next one, if you haven't had breakfast yet, if you're eating breakfast, we apologize. But teachers abandon school as community use classrooms for open defecation.
Where is this?
Let's zoom into this. It's captured in page 11, again in the Ghanaian Times. That's why I had to apologize. In case you are
sorry.
You are eating something or about to eat. Sincere apologies. Okay, so now the BONTIBOR. BONTIBOR.
Bontri.
No, Bonti. The Bontibo.
Okay.
The Bontibo DA Basic School in the Inquanta South municipality of the OT region has been closed down for the last 3 weeks because some unscrupulous members of the community have turned the classrooms into a place for open defecation. The situation has compelled teachers to abandon teaching, thereby forcing the children to stay out of the classrooms. The negative development where community members turned the classrooms into public toilets was reported to the Inquanta South Municipality Directorate of Education, and the decision was supported by the Directorate. So the Inquanta South Municipal Director of Education, Mr. Jonathan Kosina, who briefed the media on the development, said it was time the community members showed greater respect for teachers in their respective communities and to protect them at all times. He added that teachers formed one of the most important workforce of the country who carried out their lawful duties diligently and needed to be encouraged at all times. He says that the community is taking the teachers for granted. And they go on to add that this has been going on now for a while.
So don't they lock these school buildings? Because ideally when school closes, the buildings are the doors to the classrooms are supposed to be locked, and then the key usually is deposited at the headmaster's office, and then they leave and go. And so I find it quite disgusting why this is happening in the 21st century. Is it a case also that the community does not have a place of convenience? Is it that in their homes they do not have these facilities available?
Because some of the members in the community are saying that they find this strange because they have a shared toilet facility that the members of the community can use. She said that the negative development tarnished the image of the community, and she doesn't understand why people don't want to use the community toilet, which is available for all and sundry. Yes,
but how is that kept? Again, that's the conversation. I mean, it's not justification for the kind of things that we're reading now. Well, anyway,
we move on. Very unsavory one there on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. The Supreme newspaper, Bawumia lays his vision, ready to take Ghana to the next level. What level that is? Some are saying levels that are different.
I know my level.
Is it level going up?
My level. No,
my level. Just one group holds maiden Olympics for staff, and cartooning the president is national disrespect. Lawyer warns. It's on page 4.
Which lawyer?
In fact, now that you say, let's just even zoom in there. And there's a cartoon to go along with that headline. Cartooning the president is a national disrespect, lawyer warns. Well, the story goes as follows. Journalists, cartoonists, and the general public have been warned to desist from making effigies and or images that mimic President Akufo-Addo or any other president, as it does not show his true features.
So who is this lawyer? I want to.
The legal experts and state attorney Derek Obeng Asante says not only is it an insult to the president, but the nation at large.
Who sent him?
Speaking on EIB Network's English platform Ultimate FM in Kumasi, he warned the people, especially the cartoonists, to stop making these images, as it is a mockery.
Is he now waking up, or I don't know, but cartoonists and satirists have been at this for God knows how long. Donald Trump was drawn, Bush was drawn, Tony Blair has been drawn. So what's the big deal? Is you focus on being a state prosecutor and all those who are digging galamsey and all those things. You focus on them. Go and find them.
He says if you see somebody drawing the president, go and report them, that they should stop and desist.
And he's a state prosecutor paid with our money.
He says stop drawing cartoon. That's his message to the nation.
Why?
Asanka Gold Mines unmasked hatches plans to use military to brutalize residents. The Ghanaian Observer this morning, Bawumia Sheikh's NPP, lays out his vision to take Ghana to the next level. Do you know your own level?
You find your level.
I know my level. Akufo-Addo urges nurses, midwives to accept postings to deprived areas. And I listened to him speak, and he says, wherever you are posted, just go there and serve diligently.
What is where I'm going? Because you see, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, you are a health professional, you're just like any other professional. You need the tools
Correct.
to work. So if the tools are not available for you to work, and the people come to you and you cannot help them with all the skills and knowledge you have, there's no incentive going where you've been posted. It's basic.
That's right.
So if the president wants the people to go wherever they are posted, we need to also make their lives comfortable, because they are other people's children. The fact that when we are sick, we don't go to them, but we pick a passport and fly out of the country to seek medical care, even speaks volume that we are not committed to making our local situation better.
That's right.
That for me should be key to the president. It's a good call. Yes, go wherever it is. But I'm not sure that our health authorities have also paid attention to the fact that you have a lot of nurses and doctors leaving the country. And when you speak to them, I was fortunate to have done 5 years straight of volunteerism for measles and polio and vitamin A for kids vaccination. So I did that 5 years straight. I have a certificate for that. And interacting with some of the nurses then and some of the public health nurses now, they tell you, Charlie,
Nkoye, we have to go.
Nkoye, you go to Kanishi Polyclinic. It's a district hospital. Some of the wards are inundated with mosquitoes.
Goodness.
Go to Kolebu, check the surgical block. This is in Accra. The whole surgical block. When you stand, the building is dirty. All right? There are no nets, mosquito nets. It's basa. So if this is happening in Accra, take your mind out of Accra, go to Awin, around Sifi, or leave and go to somewhere like Bakwa, where I went and saw that the clinic that had been literally abandoned. The staff don't come to work on weekends because the roof is leaking. Basa. So when you tell people to go wherever they are posted, it's a good call. But what are they going there to do? What are they going to meet? And how are they able to help the people? How?
Imagine going to get cured of malaria only to be met with even more mosquitoes.
Yes. And then you pick infections and bring them home.
Bring it home.
So,
sticking with the Ghanaian Observer, support Ghana's structural reforms. That's coming from Finance Minister. Economy showing signs of stability, and that's coming from the IMF. Big Brother is in town. They've been holding our hands, and we're seeing the impact of that. Finally, the Finder newspaper. Government Paris Club set to sign MOU on debt treatment terms. Asase Foundation donates dialysis machines, urges NHIS to cover kidney treatment. Bawumia hints of his own vision to consolidate Akufo-Addo's achievements, and there's a picture to go along with that story. You see him here with his wife addressing a large crowd as he had finished dropping off his forms as well.
What does that Dr. Bawumia mean when he says, I have my own vision? Because he was supposed to be aligned to the vision of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In fact, throughout, we have been told how he had worked at the Bank of Ghana. I mean, President Kufuor had said that about him. Mr. Akufo-Addo had said that about him, President Akufo-Addo. You had other party greats talk about the fact that this is the game-changing, professional that we need among the team. So if that vision has been implemented over time, he's not telling us that he has his own vision. Is it a case that he didn't put his vision on the table so that the team that he worked with would have appreciated it and maybe adopted some of it? Or is he now going to bring a clean slate and say, this is my new vision. What we were doing then was not right. Is he going to consolidate
highlights of his vision? And the tangent was very much on technology. So this is captured in page 8 of the Finder newspaper. He says, together with you, I want to see Ghana where we leverage technology, data and systems for inclusive economic growth. Dr. Bawumia then shared a summary of his vision for Ghana and promised to share an elaborate one once his manifesto is out for the 2024 elections. He wants to bridge the digital divide and apply digital technology and artificial intelligence, AI, for the transformation of healthcare, education, and public service delivery, amongst others.
Shouldn't Dr. Bawumia be giving us his scorecard on the Wache thing? What's it called? QR code.
The QR code
for Wache. Shouldn't he be giving us a scorecard?
Well, he says that he's worked very hard for government and for the party. That's what he's saying.
Yes, I mean, you have worked hard for the government and party, but you were the one who was used to front that. So shouldn't you be giving us a scorecard on that? Number
Absolutely.
one. Number two, shouldn't he be giving us a scorecard on everybody owning a digital tablet or phone, a smartphone? That his face was again used for that.
That's right.
Shouldn't he be giving us a scorecard on that? Shouldn't he be giving us a scorecard on e-food, school feeding? That he was going to digitalize school feeding. Shouldn't he be giving us a scorecard on that? So you look at all the things that he mentioned. At the height of COVID, we launched a COVID app. Right?
That's right.
They should be giving us a scorecard on how many people were identified using this COVID app and how we helped in fighting COVID and all of that.
It reminded me of that initiative, you know.
Then, at that same launch, we were told that we're going to have a COVID church app, which never came. Shouldn't he be giving us a scorecard on that? At least I've mentioned 5 things connected to digitalization. It's okay to be mentioning digitalization because now the whole world seems to be thinking AI and digital. So you are swaying people towards there. That's a cool thing. But tell us what you have been able to achieve working under President Akufo-Addo as vice president and being touted as the digital man. These initiatives, come and give us the scorecard. Then we will take you serious.
That's right.
When you come and say you are bringing on a new wave of technological whatever. But until you come and give us the scorecard, you have to keep quiet. Sorry. You have to keep quiet because you have not given us. You promised every child a tablet. Now you are promising children or computers.
A laptop.
But you promised them tablets.
That's right.
You said every Ghanaian was going to have a smartphone by a certain year. You said you were going to digitalize school feeding. You said you were going to use QR code to buy Wache. What's going on?
Some Wache places, when you go, you can scan and pay.
You scan the Wache and pay?
You scan the code and then you
Where?
pay. I'll show you the place. See me in Chambers.
Where?
It's near my area.
It's near your area. Hey. Well, bailout results begin to show. Oforiatta courts public support for reforms. The story by Emmanuel Bruce. The approval of the International Monetary Fund program has started yielding positive outcomes. The Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, has stated and called on all Ghanaians to put their shoulders to the wheel to implement far-reaching reforms. He cited the positive outcomes to include decreases in the rate of inflation and treasury bills, improvement in foreign reserves and current account positions, but stressed that the real work of adjustment, realignment, and the return to a path of steady economic growth has just begun. Let us brace ourselves for the needed reforms, especially in expenditure control, non-arrears, accumulation, revenue growth, ECG collections, and energy sector reforms in order to rebuild the walls of the Republic with urgency, the Minister Ken Oforiatta said. I'm not sure the minister still recognizes the fact that his continued stay in office is what's making people even more angry to be rejecting most of the things that he's proposing. William, good morning.
Good morning.
He has not come to that realization, and the president is also not helping matters by not asking him to go, because now the IMF deal is in town. The president said Allow the man to read the budget. Allow the debate to happen. Allow the approval of the budget. Allow him to finish the IMF negotiations, because without him, it could be derailed. And then we will see what we'll do. The president is too silent on Mr. Furiata. And you see, each time the finance minister speaks like this, I was listening to him over the weekend and this morning again on the news, where he said, let us begin to bedding share.
Yeah.
Who created the bedding? And why am I being invited to bedding share in something I didn't create? And something that has not been apologized for. You have, and you see, when you talk about it, you say, oh, brush that aside, that is in the past. But you learn from history that you do not learn from history.
That's why you have to stop asking for the apology. Because it won't come.
But the man needs to realize that his continued stay is what is actually making people more angry. So the pension bondholders, when it comes to talk to them, they say, but you...
In January, we said by June, the apology will come. Still,
no show.
In June, it won't come.
No show.
I mean, there's no way he's going to apologize. There's no way the president is going to apologize. Because he's political.
Yeah.
He's a political figure. When he apologizes, it hurts him politically. So he would rather explain his way away. You know what I mean? Yeah, you apologize. Come and stand in front of the whole Ghana exams. He will beg you for the votes, but he won't apologize for the faults. As for the baba, he can say it. But when he makes a mistake, for him to come and apologize, he won't do it. If he would apologize, he would have done that long ago.
That's true.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Long ago.
He doesn't see the need to do that.
No. You know, so at the end of the day, it is just for us. You say we should bed in share. Are we going to bed in share? Sometimes you don't have even control over that. You'll be forced to bed in share.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he said that, he was speaking in connection with the domestic debt exchange. And we saw how that went, virtually really locking everybody into a tight corner where even the alternative is not even attractive enough for you. It's almost as if,
it's they say, oh, it's not mandatory,
but
it's voluntary, but the conditions attached to the voluntariness of the thing, it's some way. And especially where we now see that those who didn't subscribe to the debt exchange program, look at how they're having to still picket and ask for their monies. Monies just don't come on time. And government is seeking to still restructure the debt, especially domestically. Is government trying to tell others that look what happens when you don't subscribe to our debt exchange program? You'll be frustrated. You'll be... is that the signals that they want others to pick, so that when it's your turn and they want to come to your sector, you have no choice but to just give in, because you look around you and the alternative is also bleak. It's not there. But the point is that, you know, if you listen to the back and forth with the pension bondholders, it's not actually helping all of this
at all.
Question is, why doesn't Mr. Furiata and the team take the same posture when they go out there to negotiate with the Paris Club and foreign external debtors? Their tone is different. When they come home, their tone is also very different. Sometimes in a very calm manner, but they are being very, very authoritative and disrespectful, as the former Chief Justice puts it. If I were him, I would have left that office a long time ago, because his continued stay in that office and people seeing his face and knowing that he's the one that supervised us into the ditch, he has not apologized, he is explaining, and the explanation is not explaining, and then he wants to assure us that he will take us out of this same ditch and all of that. When the people see him, then they get angry.
Especially for a finance minister who did not want to go to the IMF, who said he would not go.
When the people see him, then they get angry. I mean, that maybe his family should call him and talk to him. His family people. I mean, you should be worried about it. Because we all come from families. If you're doing something and the thing is all working well, sometimes your family causes it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I finish Johnnie's by sometimes I get heated and one of my uncles called me and said, what happened?